questions for Shakira Austin or Madison Scott? We'll start off in the room first.
I guess the obvious question first. I mean, how does it feel to finally get here?
Maddie?
Oh man, it feels amazing. I was holding on to the what is it, the bar of the bleachers like I was on a roller coaster. Nah, I was just so excited just to finally see Ole Miss go across the screen, you know, and to see it. You know, it was nerve-wracking, of course, but to see it and just to see all the smiles, all the cheers, you know, it was just a great moment that I will remember forever. So I was so excited to see our name go across that screen.
How many times did you think it was going to be Ole Miss? Was it every single time?
Every single time.
Trying to like calculate, I'm like, okay, maybe this is number 5 and number whatever. I'm like, all right, we're not gonna be on this one. But yeah, every time we just had our hopes up.
Shakira, for you, coming here when the program was, they had just come off an 0-16 SEC season, and now they're here. For you, kind of taking a chance and coming here to see it pay off like this, I imagine this is probably pretty powerful for you.
I mean, it feels great. I was looking forward to playing a few schools, who laughed about my decision coming here. So, it just feels great. We finally got here. It's been a long season, and we just want to end it right.
What do you guys think this next couple of days are going to be like? You got 5 days to prepare. Just what do you think the focus is going to be like preparing for your first NCAA tournament game?
I think it's going to be pretty intense. I think, now that we finally seen that we're in it, we know we're playing, who we're playing. I think, everyone's just going to get more ramped up. I feel like we're going to have a little bit more focus, and, the energy should just carry out until we play.
I mean, defensively, y'all have held teams under 61 points for, I believe, over a month now. How good do y'all feel about y'all's defense going into this matchup?
I mean, that's definitely what we're going to have to carry. No matter who we play, you can only prepare so much for offensively. So the defense is what we knew was going to get us into the tournament regardless. So, I think it's a lot of teams in the tournament who really aren't prepared for a defense like Ole Miss.
I know y'all probably don't want to look ahead in the bracket, but did either of y'all consider Baylor at any point when you were getting recruited?
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were definitely in the mix a little bit,
yeah.
but yeah, we're at Ole Miss. This is the place for us, so yeah.
How far has this team come since that opening? Belmont just came across the street. It seems like a long time ago, doesn't it?
Definitely. I think everybody would want to, see that matchup again, see how it would go. But, it was tough that our first journey, our first challenge was first game. But, it really set the tone for the rest of the season, just learning from mistakes. So.
Let's talk about just the way y'all kind of grown up, when y'all first came here. Of course, your Caribbean experience, in Madison being recruited here. But just talk about just the time y'all got here, the time, just being announced that where y'all are going to be going to the NCAA tournament, what Coach Yo just means to y'all, as a coach. I'm sure you probably had to ask or answer a lot of these questions in the past, but, just kind of talk about just that, just kind of a player's perspective.
Coach O's our leader. She's the head of the snake. She's our leader. We look up to her. She inspires us. She gets us going. She pushes us. She says the things that we don't always want to hear. She does a little bit of everything. So to be here in this moment, especially when she was recruiting me, all the stuff that she said to me, all the promises, she knew it all along. So to be in this moment, it's amazing. To look at her and see she's like, Maddie, I told you so, and she did. So, this is, like I said, just another memory, that we will never forget, and we're just so excited to see, what we do in the tournament.
Shakira, what advice do you have for some of the players who haven't been to the NCAA tournament before? What to expect for a game like this?
I think first, just, don't play tight. The big stage can really, set players off, especially a young player. But you just got to give all the effort, for 40. The game plan might not go as you want it to, but, as long as you're working harder than anybody else on the floor, then, it'll turn out the way you want to.
Any other questions in the room? We'll go to Zoom then. Questions on Zoom for Shakira or Maddie?
Yes, I have one. It's Dorothy.
Go ahead.
Hi, I'm sorry. I couldn't really hear the question in the room, so I want to know if you guys thought that your name wasn't going to be called.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the fact that we were the last pick was definitely nerve-wracking. Definitely. But what did you say?
I said, okay, that's what I wanted to know. I wasn't
Yeah.
sure, and I could really hear what they said there in the room, so you guys weren't sure. So talk about how you guys just plan to attack this week in preparation.
We just gonna go hard. You know, we're gonna do what we do. Point in the season, you know, we lost our identity, so it's gonna be important these next couple of days that we stick to what we do. You know, we're gonna work heavily on our defense. You know, we're gonna work on just doing what we do. You know, we want to go down there and just play Ole Miss basketball. So it's gonna be important that we're just locked in these next couple of days, and just bring in high energy. You know, just ready to go because we want to do big things. You know, we know it takes everybody, so we all just have to put in the work together and give it our all and see what happens.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Zoomer in the room? Great, thanks guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.